Well, I mean, the whole trail system on this island is wonderful. It's a shame to put up a fence. Well, it's kind of nice to feel that you're connecting the island a little bit. And as I said, it's just really, it's not an issue for us having that trail there.
Well, I think we were second after the Cornishes. And you probably know that Diane is a lawyer, was a lawyer. She looked at it and she says, "This is eminently fair to both parties, let's do it." And so once you have a lawyer saying that, it was very easy for us to come on and sign. It's totally fair, it's not a long term, it can be terminated at will, and it gives you a measure of protection. So the only restriction we had on it was no horses, because we have a couple of bridges and they weren't built to carry 2,000 pounds. I suspect a lot of people don't know what a trail license is.
It seems silly not to, because undoubtedly people are using your trail. Whether you...
And Galt puts up nice signposts which indicate that it's actually private property.
The trail license is the way to go. You folks maintain it, you indemnify us. If we want to get out of it, 30 days notice. It would be silly not to, especially the indemnity part.
Oh, I love it. I liked it, the idea from the beginning. Well, it made sense. The trail was already here. Probably for hundreds of years, people have taken the shortcut. Who knows exactly? And it just made sense. We didn't really have to discuss it even. It was just a no-brainer.
If there's significant things to be done, I would call Galt right away. Galt is so willing to do it, and it's just a matter of asking. None. Nada.
No noise, no litter, no nothing.
We enjoy the sound of people on the trail. So, you know, there's not a tremendous number of kids in our neighborhood, but when they're walking on the trails and yelling and playing and whatnot, well,
That's great. It's like
it's
music.
great. Most people are pretty quiet.
No, I think there were a number of minor issues in terms of, well, particularly pets, dogs. I don't remember any other major ones, though.
No.
To cancel the license is important, because as a property owner, somebody who buys your property may not want it, and so you need that flexibility.
So when we sold our farm, one of the conditions that we wanted with a new purchaser was someone who is willing to continue the Galt Trail license and also the Commons community allotment gardens.
So the people that owned it before us had it for about a generation, and Joyce and John Pritchard, and they maintained the trails, and there's lots of public trails in our neighborhood. And so we took over the trails and then maintained them. So we were having public trails here before we had a trail license.
Well, and in fact, when we first bought this property in 2003, we were living in Ottawa, and we got a phone call from somebody, I'm not sure who, saying, you know, there's a trail at the end of your property. Do you mind if people use it? So we found out we had a trail and people were using it anyway.
Well, the trail's been there forever. It doesn't interfere with us. People just use it, so why not?
I'm not sure why people wouldn't sign a license if they're going to allow people to use the trail.
I remember thinking, well, okay, Galt's about trails, but we've got this problem of how do we solve access over private land. The regional district of Squamish, so that was the boilerplate for what we used for what would have been Diane and Bill's, that #1 trail license, because it was a good connector. I mean, it's just a little simple, what is it, 500 meters or something, but between different parts of the community. It's a classic case of trying to fulfill the goal of connecting communities.
To me, it makes so much sense, and it's a community connection. And I'm a real believer in walkable communities, walkable, cyclable communities. They're healthier communities.
That trail from the community hall through to Lois Lane was always when we first bought the property, there was a long established foot and horse path across one of our hay fields. Well, I wanted to convert to hay, so we had to put the trail somewhere else.
Tom made the little box out of a bread box that we got at the garage sale at the Commons one year. So it's a tiny, tiny library.